So we have a new feature on the show that we're going to run every single week, and it's called the Secret Golf Celebrity Showdown. Now, it's on the SG Tour app, and well, basically we're going to pick a tournament-long four-ball team. We're going to go against each other. First of all, Elk and Jay, my two compadres on the show week after week, I think it's time that we spice things up with a little bit of a friendly competition.
Well, of course, Diane, we consider ourselves experts in these fields because we have our own show and we know all of these tour players and caddies. But we've invited a special guest on today, Ryan Ballengee from Golf News Net. He is also very good at picking players to do well in tournaments. So it's an easy game. You can download the SG Tour app, sync it up with your PayPal. This is a $10 game to win the top three prizes. And we're going to let Ryan Ballengee go in the app today and pick his A, B, C, and D, and we're going to break it down with him to see if he actually knows what he thinks he knows.
Oh, Ryan, so the pressure's on you more than anything this week.
Being called a celebrity is a lot of pressure, first of all, and then I have golfers on top of it.
Well, we're going to have a leaderboard week after week. So as I said, I'm going to go up against these two guys and we're going to see who does best throughout the course of the PGA Tour season. But you are representing the celebrity category. So you've got to set the tone. You're starting off for this team.
Yeah, I don't need to dig a hole for everybody who comes after me. Let's start at least on the middle floor. Maybe would be a good aspiration for this week.
Right. Very quickly, tell us about Golf News Net because, when I'm ever looking for information about like a field for a PGA Tour event or the payout structure results, whenever I Google it, Golf News Net is the first site that comes up and it makes me happy week after week.
Well, that's by design. I mean, the whole point of Golf News Net is to try to deliver information that golfers and golf fans want to know with very little BS or fluff in between. So we love to talk about facts, data, analysis, kind of looking into the history of the game, like you guys do on this show every week. And we just kind of put it in written form for people, and including our fantasy picks and fantasy model that we do each week at golfnewsnet.com.
Okay, see, so you're good at this. You're actually setting the bar pretty high, isn't he, Elk?
Yeah, and of course we have in the blue over here, Jay Kaplan, who is just the legend at picking the long shots in tournaments. So I know he's sitting on a couple of secrets. Jay, good morning to you. And are you got your picks lined up? I know you do on the back end.
Elk, thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here and to bring sort of the dark horse angle. And of course, I guess I kind of look at this as a celebrity roast. So I'm really happy to have Ryan on here. He's not an easy target because he has a lot of knowledge, but we'll see if he can sort through this mega field this week.
Now, the game is actually public. We're calling it the Secret Golf Celebrity Showdown, public game on the SG Tour app. So anyone can go and play. That means you can go up against us with a four-ball tournament for the Waste Management Phoenix Open and see how your picks fare against ours. Now, we're going to do the top three payout structure. So $10 to enter, and 1, 2, and 3 will all cash in. Right, I think we need to get right into these picks. I mean, the three of us, Elk, Jay, and I, we spend the whole show talking about our picks. So we're not going to give ours away right now. You've already heard us talk about so many guys that we're big on this week. But Ryan, I know you've got your phone, you've got the app loaded up. We have 4 tiers, A, B, C, and D, based on the official world golf ranking. And we're going to get you to dive right in.
My A pick is Webb Simpson, which may not be especially original. He is the defending champion. He has a really good record on this golf course. He is fundamentally solid. He finishes with frequency in the top 20 and pretty much anywhere on the PGA Tour that's not outstandingly long, exceedingly long. This is an exceedingly long golf course at TPC Scottsdale. And he's been playing solid golf for the last 18 months. So I'm kind of hard to argue with the guy. There are probably a handful of players you'd love to see, but I think among the ones that are the ones I would consider, I would think Webb Simpson probably is my favorite.
we talked about Webb Simpson on this show. I think he actually graded out as number 1 on our show, and we moved him to about number 5 just because we're tired of seeing him at number 1 every week because of his statistics. And you explained it perfectly. We think that Webb Simpson is not an impressive looking player, but he's impressive when he puts his score down, because he's not a long hitter. He curves the ball right to left, and he putts good, and he plays desert golf good. So yeah, it's a solid pick. Jay, there's no bones on Webb Simpson.
No, there isn't, but you're right. Every week he's like, for us, we have him at the top. It's hard to argue picking Webb. It's a pretty good field this week. The data supports Webb Simpson, but we say that every week, and he does finish top 10, so it should be good. When you're making your A picks, number 1, you got to make the cut. Number 2, you got to really have this guy score. So good, solid. I'll give you a safe pick on that, Ryan.
And of course, this is a peer-on-peer game, so you're only playing against the others in the game. This is not like other sports where you're going against 10,000 people. This is a game amongst us, so you've only got to beat the other people teams. So yeah, Webb Simpson is solid all the way across.
Yeah, we have him at number 4 in our re-ranking this week. And as you say, that consistency is always hard to see past him, especially on a course that he's won on and only last year. Okay, Ryan, it gets more interesting as we move down the tiers, and you can find some real hidden gems, but let's go with B.
Ryan Palmer is my guy. I've loved watching Ryan Palmer play lately. Really, for the last 4 or 5 months, he's been playing great golf. And I know he kind of goes through these periods where he plays great golf and then not quite as great golf. But when he plays great golf, it's kind of hard to argue with him, and it's really easy to overlook him. So from the perspective of trying to find someone that may play well that not everyone else in this game is going to have, that's someone you want to think about. And whatever kind of fantasy game you're thinking about, you want someone to kind of pivot to that maybe not everyone is thinking about. Obviously, Ryan Palmer gets thought about here, but I think he's just a tremendous pick.
Well, we never see past Ryan Palmer, do we? And that's why we've got him ranked at number 2 in our re-ranking this week.
We talked about Ryan Palmer yesterday, Ryan. We talked about how important the mental game is on the PGA Tour. Keith, I talked about how important the mental game is on the PGA Tour. And when you think about Brooks Koepka, Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, who there's some turmoil going in, whether it's their swing or it's their form or their equipment or whatever. But Ryan Palmer has gotten better with age, and I think whether it's his wife getting past a health spell last year and his appreciation for, he's a little older, but his attitude is so good. And I've got to tell you that transfers over, because if you make a bogey, he's likely to come back and make 3 birdies. But Ryan Palmer has gotten better. He used to be a kind of average putter, but now we see him, he was right there leading the tournament at 85-1 at Kapalua. He finished second again last week. Ryan Palmer is a stud for us.
This is a great pick, by the way. I mean, he's coming off a great week in San Diego. And when we looked at his numbers, 25th in ball striking, 3rd in birdie average, we know he's going to score. He just seems like he's hitting the peak of his career. So, like, for us at Secret Golf, we know him so well. I mean, we're not going to be surprised if he walks away with a major this year.
I think
this might be one of those things. Right. This might be one of those years where he kind of sneaks in and maybe walks out with a PGA or a Claret Jug too. So,
well, he has to feel so good about the US Open, bearing in mind that's 2 second-place finishes around Torrey Pines, and yeah, obviously it's going to be set up differently. But that guy, the thing I love, and it just reinforces something I love so much about the PGA Tour, is that Ryan Palmer is 44. He's one of the when you look at his results and his play, he's one of the biggest names right now. And then you think of Joaquin Niemann, who's up there too, one of the hottest young guys, and he's half of his age. And you've got these 2 guys week after week just posting incredible scores.
Plus, he's a Texan with that accent. He just seems like you shouldn't mess with him. He just seems like he's going to bring his pistol ready to go every week. So it's a good pick.
Okay, we
like
it.
I know Ryan's team's already shaping up already here, by the way.
It's pretty good.
I hope the golf celebrities that we're going to approach to come on the show, they're going to be feeling happy right now without even knowing it. Okay, Ryan, moving on to the C tier.
The guy's straight vibing. DB, Daniel Berger.
Daniel Berger.
13th in the world. He's been playing some of the best golf of his career. He's played well in this event, even in the more lean years of his relatively young career. So he likes the golf course, plays well. The attitude of his, I think you kind of see it in a lot of the picks that I make. His attitude toward golf and the ebb and flow of a golf tournament is just perfectly suited for the PGA Tour, and frankly for this event in normal conditions. He just doesn't seem to ebb too high and too low. He kind of plays it as is, and with the talent that he's kind of finally maximizing, I think. I love him in this group.
I almost saw the color drain from Elk's face there when you mentioned Daniel Berger because he's so big on him as well.
Oh, I love Berger. You know, he's a great striker. You know, he has an interesting swing action where he cocks the club on the way back, but then he cocks it more on the way down, a la Sergio Garcia. And what that does, it puts a lot of force right into the ball. It gives him very consistent striking. Berger, you know, it's always funny, Ryan, when we talked about this on the show yesterday, when we used to have those guys, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Marley Kaufman, and Daniel Berger used to go on holidays, and there was a different dynamic. Now that whole dynamic's changed. Who's on top now? Is it Berger, or is it Thomas, and Spieth's down here, and Smiley Kaufman's gone? I mean, it's interesting to see, but Daniel Berger, to me, I said it on the show yesterday, is his own man. And of course, he won when he came back and played at Colonial. And I think he's one of these guys that's going to step in, you know, over the next 2 years on tour and, you know, take over.
Ryan, you clearly have studied our chart. I don't know how you got your hands on our formula, but we're going to do some research into your celebrity lab and the minions you have working for you, because you are spot on, dude, with your picks. 6th in birdie average. The guy's coming in playing great. We have him ranked 4th in form. He's finished 7th and 10th in his last 2. Like, dude, you are like right out of the gate on this thing.
Yeah, I'm
to the D player before you tell me I did a good job.
Yeah, well, see, Jay's excited for this because this is his forte, to find a bit of a wild dark horse pick. And remember as well, if your guy misses the cut, then that's marked down as them shooting an 80. Regardless of the course, the tournament, they're down for an 80. So, I mean, you need your guys to make the cut, and that's where the D flight is kind of exciting.
See, the game is relatable. See, I mean, anybody like me shoots way over 80. So I kind of feel like I can get in this thing and perform my normal round, right?
Because we know the tournament this week is at the TPC Scottsdale, Tom Weisskopf design. I've already spoken to some guys that have played the golf course. There's not much rough. The course is sort of firm. The greens are perfect. There's got a good weather forecast, no wind, no cold weather. So we're looking at 20 under to win this tournament, 5 per day. This is a hard course. This is a hard field to handicap because it's a good field. It's actually the best field they've ever had, which is actually disheartening for Waste Management, the sponsor, who I'm very close friends with, because they've got players coming there this week that don't want to be with the crowds, and they're enjoying it. The idea that the six not packed with 25,000 people. But so let's talk about your D player, because this is going to be the decider on how your team stacks up.
I jumped out the window with Patrick Harrington. I know that might be a little surprising. He's 40 years old. He's getting close to the Champions Tour, but in 2 starts on the PGA Tour this year, T26, T32, so he can still make cuts. He finished great last week in Dubai on the European Tour. Similar style setup, desert golf, firm golf course. You got to take chances at Emirates Golf Club. He was in it. He was in the top 10. So, and he contending against guys like Paul Casey and Sergio Garcia, who, you know, are younger than him, but they're no spring chickens either. So I still think Harrington can keep up, and I think he can get to the weekend.
Oh, I like.
He was a sponsor's choice. He was a sponsor's choice this week from Waste Management. Maybe because he's Ryder Cup captain. You've already taken research across the pond into Dubai to handicap this thing. You've given me a slimmer of hope with your pick today with Patrick Harrington, because I think I've got a better D than you. So we'll see. But I understand your thinking, Ryan, on picking Harrington.
Ryan, I don't know how one man can make 3 genius picks and then totally wreck his roster with picking old-timey European that's going to come over and get lost in the field. Next time, send me a message and I'll help you with those D picks so you can really compete during our app week, because Padraig Harrington is out of, we say left field, he's way out of left field, but I like how you've gone out on a limb. That's about as much of a compliment as I can give you on that one.
They can't all be safe picks, Jay. What kind of fun is safe all the time?
Well,
what's Harrington's odds at Vegas this week, Diane?
Jay, do you have
he's 200 to 1.
Okay.
And so maybe, he'd qualify as a dark horse possibility, but he might be the darkest horse I've ever heard of for somebody.
Oh, come on. 200
Dude, we're not in Michael Kim territory here. So, there's a bar there.
It wouldn't be right in the Celebrity Secret Golf Challenge if there wasn't some controversy. And I've got my 4 that I'm thinking about. I know Diane and Jay have theirs. We are going to enter our 4. You are able to change your team all the way up to we call it the shot clock goes off, but we're going to seal Ryan's because he's made it here publicly on our show. I do like you picked Padraig Harrington. Maybe you're positioning yourself for some Euro tickets to go to Whistling Straits. Do you have some straight angle into Harrington? Is that where you're at here?
We're fellow Irishmen, at least by bloodline. So, I saw the flag waving and thought, you know what, I'm going to get behind the Republic today.
Okay. And as Alex said, we're allowed to change our picks. Yours are locked in now. But remember, anyone can join this game. It's a public game on the SG Tour app. It's called the Secret Golf Celebrity Showdown. You don't get to see everyone else's picks until the tournament actually starts. So that's why the 3 of us are a little bit shifty. We'll keep it under our belts, and then we will see how everything goes. But we are going to have a leaderboard running, of course, week after week. And Ryan Ballengee from Golf Newsnet kicking it off for the celebrities.
Thanks for having me. This is so much fun. I love the banter. I appreciate the feedback, Jay. We'll see if I get back to you on Harrington.
I'll text you.
I'll have my people call your people when I get the trophy.
Compete against your friends on PGA Tour events. Win cash and bragging rights. Test your golf knowledge. Experience the success and failure of PGA Tour players. Man. SG Tour app is an engaging golf experience designed by professional golfers that created a variety of games, including single and multi-day games, as well as tournament-long contests. It's really simple. Join or create a game, pick 4 players, and win cash. You can even immerse yourself in interactive features, including course strategy, putt predictor, and daily content exclusively from PGA Tour players. The word is out and golf fans are catching on. So don't miss out. Download the SG Tour app now.